Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out mtgrocks.com. My name is Alan, and today we are playing some Modern, and we have before us Enchantress, so green-white or Naya Enchantress, and this is a deck piloted by TCG Gaming over on Twitter, and he took this thing to a 5-0 finish in a league, and the deck is pretty interesting. With Modern Horizons 2, we got some new support in the likes of Sithis, Harvest Hand. We also got Sterling Grove in the set as well too. So pretty great Enchantress effects. And really our goal is to get a Destiny Spinner down and turn one of our lands into just a monstrous creature. You know, we're going to have a ton of enchantments in place, so it's going to be huge, right? So on Thin Ice is kind of like our cheap Oblivion Ring type of effect, sort of like a Chain to the Rocks type effect. We have Abundant Growths to be able to draw us cards, potentially also fix our mana as well. Utopia Spall to ramp. Greater Oromancy is to give our enchantment Shroud. And then enchantment creatures that we control also have Shroud, which is useful for our Destiny Spinner. So our Destiny Spinner makes things, our creatures and enchantments can't be countered. And then we get to make a land a really big elemental creature token. Elemental creature trample haste gets huge, right? Then we have Sanctum Weaver to make some more mana for us, right? Sterling Grove gives our other enchantment Shroud, and then we can sacrifice this to go grab an enchantment from our deck and put it on top of our library, so we can do that at instant speed and try to go find, you know, maybe if we need like a Blood Moon or we need a Solitary Confinement or something along those lines, right? It just gets us there. Sithis, Harvest Hand is Enchantress effect. When we cast an enchantment spell, draw a card, gain a life. Then we have Banishing Light as well as Oblivion Ring as far as removal goes. And then Solitary Confinement, new Modern Horizons 2 card. So at the beginning of your upkeep, you sacrifice it unless you discard a card. Skip your draw step, you have Shroud, and prevent all damage to be dealt to you. So this is kind of like our setup, our protection spell, if you will. And then on top of that, so then we have also Enchantress's Presence, which again, cast an enchantment spell, draw a card, and then lastly Blood Moon to beat out some of the, you know, the Urza's Saga decks and things of that sort. It doesn't hurt us a ton. We are playing a good amount of basics in the deck. A bunch of fetch lands, a couple of dual lands, Prismatic Vista, and then Hall of Helios Generosity is actually a great way if we need to discard an enchantment for Solitary Confinement. We get to actually put we can, you know, put it back on top of our deck, cast another enchantment spell, and then draw some cards off of, you know, Sithis and Enchantress Presence. So that's the main deck. Sideboard, we have Rest in Peace for the Graveyard, Stony Silence for all the artifact stuff going around, Resurgent Belief. So this is our new suspended replenish effect. So basically, if we suspect that our opponent is going to be blowing up a bunch of our enchantments for whatever reason, whether that be, you know, through things like Force of Vigor or you know, other means, we have a way to recur those back straight to the battlefield. Veil of Summer against control, Lave Lines against discard, Emrakul against mill decks. So this is great. They just mill this over. We get to shuffle everything back. And then Prismatic End. So we can actually make a bunch of different colors of mana with things like Utopia Sprawl, things like Sanctum Weaver. So we can make different colors of mana, so we can get this actually convergence up to, you know, 3 or 4 if we need to. And so we can deal with a bunch of different threats that are in the format with Prismatic Ending. So that's the deck. We're gonna go ahead and jump into a league and see how it does, but thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the games. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 1. We are playing some Modern Enchantress. We're on the play here, and no land, which kind of stinks. So we have to mulligan. This is much better. It's a decent amount of lands. We can actually get to play Blood Moon, so we're gonna go ahead and keep this guy, and I think we're just gonna put back the Banishing Light. We do want to get Enchantress's Presence here. So we're gonna go Wooded, Foothills, Crack, go get a forest. we'll go ahead and get the show started here. Destiny Spinner's a great draw for us as well too. Protects our Blood Moon. Protects our Enchantress's presence. Looks like we might be getting Thoughtseize though, so but bye-bye Blood Moon. Yep. Well, I guess and that's the price we pay. When we can't necessarily ramp out Blood Moon, it happens. Pull the stack over here. But our just I figured our opponent is gonna have to take the Blood Moon here. There's no real other choice here. Oh, good, another Abundant Growth. So nothing wrong with that, I suppose. But I think, yeah, we're just gonna play ourselves a Destiny Spinner. There you go. We do need to get down this Enchantress's presence. We would have loved to have had a Utopia Sprawl here just to power out a little bit, but yep. Tidehollow Sculler is going to then just going to take our Enchantress's presence, so not stellar there. And Utopia Sprawl, okay. So I think that we're gonna play Abundant Growth, draw a card. Banishing Light's pretty good. Play a Temple Garden. Tapped. And we can't... We're just gonna set this on green for the moment, and we'll get in there with our Destiny Spinner just to kick things off here. We can actually turn this Destiny Spinner into a 4/4. Definitely not definitely a decent threat, but I think we do need to get Sterling Grove. We need to get Greater Oromancy going. Okay. Stoneforge Mystic, pretty good. We probably need to get rid of... It's probably finding Caldra. Yeah, Caldra complete. So I mean, ultimately we can get rid of this guy. We can get rid of Stoneforge. Anthonice is also really good. We can deal with everything here. So I think we do want to get our Enchantress's presence back so we can get our engine going again. And I do kind of want to cast it, but at the same time, I mean, we can just deal with the Caldra, right? Caldra says indestructible haste. Yeah, so we can just deal with the Caldra. We might just take a hit off of it, but it's kind of whatever. So I'd say we just go make a white on thin ice, target our snow-covered plains. And we'll exile the Tidehollow Sculler. See what our opponent looks to do here. Okay. So now we get our Enchantress's presence back, which is great news. I think that barring, as much as I want to get this down, I do think we can't afford to let our opponent be able to Thoughtseize our Banishing Light out of our hand. We do need to deal with the Stoneforge right away. So we'll go ahead, we'll get this down. And we'll just go ahead, we'll punch in for another 2. and see what our opponent's got going on. What's cool about this deck is that it's super low curve, right? It curves out on 3. We can just kind of do everything that we want off 3 lands. And having a Utopia Sprawl just makes everything a bit safer as far as just being able to cast all of our spells. Opponent decides to vindicate our land. That's not amazing. So I mean, they're gonna get the Tide Hollow Sculler back, and interesting that that's the choice that that's what they decided to go with instead of getting rid of this. But I guess that's fair. Stoneforge gets to find another equipment, gets to start slapping it into play. I mean, the likelihood we get to deal with it isn't high. Okay, so we'll go Prismatic Vista. And we'll just go grab a Snow-Covered Forest. Really got nothing to do here, so we're just gonna chip in there for 2 more. All right, opponent, show me what you got. They're building up towards Cauldron mana here, Cauldron mana. They could also have Batterskull just in hand. Could have more Vindicates. How much does this cost? 4. Okay. So we can't do anything about that per se at the moment, and that's fine. Okay, Fatal pushes our spinner. Nice. Getting Enchantress's presence is great here. We're not under any seriously fast clock at the moment, so I think this is fine. Anything that we get can just kind of start fueling the engine a bit here. Blood Moon a little bit less good. This looks like they do have quite a bit of non-base or basic lands as well, so Blood Moon's not going to be quite as impactful. I think we can probably cut that out of the board. Okay, just hard casting Grief. Okay, start putting the clock on. That's fine. And ultimately, we just need to not draw lands from here on out, and we'll be in a pretty decent shape, I would say. Greater Oromancy, that's a fantastic land. Greater Oromancy, draw a card. Prismatic Vista, not what we were looking for. Crack Prismatic Vista. Just go get another planes here, and we'll just ship the turn. So all of our enchantments have Shroud, which is great. Now we need to find something to deal with the creatures. Okay, take 5. Temple Garden, not what we wanted to draw here. So we got 1 turn to try to fade something incredible here. Stoneforge Mystic, okay. Goes and finds probably Batterskull, and can put the... Yep, finds Batterskull. Can put Cauldron to play next turn. Oh, that's not a bad one. Not a bad one. So this buys us a turn. Draw a card, Sanctum Weaver. Part of me wants to keep this in hand. We have enough mana, I think. I think we're fine there. I think we want to just be able to keep this solitary confinement going until we can actually... And just hope they don't have like a Thought Seize or something to blink this grief. Opponent playing all the lands. Okay. That's fine. Can't kill me through solitary confinement. Tide Hollow Sculler. That's not amazing. Oh wait, we have Shroud. Ha! Ha! We have Shroud. Right. Solitary confinement. That's a card. All right, so we will discard our Sanctum Weaver. Hopefully, you can just rip another enchantment. Oh, we don't have a draw step. That's a problem. Okay, so we effectively bought ourselves a turn. We probably should have just played the Sanctum Weaver to try to like find our way into a victory, find our way into just more stuff, right? That's probably what we should have done. Because we weren't going to be drawing a card there anyways. Learning the deck. Yep. Everybody in. Yep, everybody in. Let's go. Prevent the damage. Go to our turn. We get rid of solitary confinement. And that's not a... I mean, so this was what we would have drawn if we played Sanctum Weaver, so we weren't going to get there anyways. All right, so we'll go to the next game. Going on to game 2. Going game 2, I think we're just going to cut Blood Moons. And probably we'll cut an On Thin Ice because they can just Vindicate. I do want Stonies. I feel like I would want Resurgent Belief as well because they do have ways to deal with our enchantments. I mean, I guess Vindicate or Thoughtseize, like this is great against that kind of thing. Whether or not I want Rest in Peace, I'm not sure. I mean, they do shenanigans. They can do stuff with Undying Evil and whatnot. So I think I'm gonna cut one Sanctum Weaver, and maybe we'll cut an Abundant Growth, and then we have ways to just get everything back. Yeah, I think that's fine. We'll go ahead and we'll try it like this. All right, we'll go ahead and go first. And this hand is great, so we'll go ahead and keep. We got a Sterling Grove, an Abundant Growth, and a Greater Oromancy. I think we're in business. So we'll go Utopia Sprawl on our forest, naming white. Say go. I fully expect to get Thoughtseize here, so we'll see. I mean, it's going to be either Greater... It's one of these two for sure. Sterling Grove or Greater Oromancy. That gets taken. Evoking Grief. Do you have the Ephemerate? We probably should have mulliganed for the Leyline, probably, if I should have. That would have been nice, huh? Well, if we find Leyline off the top, we have all the mana in the world to cast it, so I guess there's that. Oh, he's not? Okay, so he's looking at our hand first. Probably deciding whether he needs to be able to blink this or not, but we'll see if he actually does. Oh, interesting. Takes Abundant Growth. So he's got Ephemerate. Oh no, he's Undying Evil? Oh, Malakir Rebirth. Okay. So you're only gonna get... Yeah. Okay. So you could take another peek, you take the Sterling Grove, and that's fine. Okay. Going to our turn. Okay, Hall of Helios Generos. Okay, Magic online. We'll play Greater Oromancy. We'll play the Hall. And this will actually let us just get stuff back. So this is good. We can set upkeep stops on our turn. Set stop on our turn. Take 3. So on our turn, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna put Abundant Growth back on top of our deck. We'll draw our Abundant Growth. And we'll draw an extra card here. Some more lands. Okay. Lovely. So next turn we won't do up anything in our upkeep. Would be nice to find something though. Literally almost anything, honestly, would be great here. Sword of Fire, nice, okay. That's pretty good. Sterling, okay. I mean, that's a thing. Sterling Grove. So everything got the Shroud now. I think what we do want to do is that once we know that our opponent is not... Okay, so they're doing this. Probably end step, we'll kick this off, go find ourselves a... Yeah, we're gonna take a lot of damage here. Solitary Confinement would be good to find. But we do need an Enchantress piece here. Yep. Take some damage. This might be pretty hard for us. Probably mulligan wrong, realistically. If they burn a Thoughtseize here, that'd be great. Alright, so sack Sterling Grove. Let's go find ourselves. Let's see what we need here. So Sithis would be great. Solitary Confinement would be great. We have 1, 2, 3 enchantments right now. I guess On Thin Ice is pretty good too. So I guess On Thin Ice is the way for us to stay alive here. So I think that's what we just kind of need to take. Do you have a blink spell? You have Ephemerate? Wow. Wow. Well, that's pretty good. And that just kills us, I think. Yep. That just kills us. Alright, well. GG's. The Grief matchup's pretty difficult. Realistically, I probably should have mulliganed for the Leyline of Sanctity, but you know what? You live, you learn. Alright, we'll go on to the next match. We'll see you guys then. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to round 2. We are playing some Modern Enchantress. We're going to be on the play for round 2. Hand's like okay, but it doesn't do anything. I guess if our opponent's playing like Thoughtseize deck, is probably fine, but like, this doesn't really do anything. I kind of just want to mulligan this away. We don't have any race to draw. I guess Sterling Grove is a good way to just keep us going. So yeah, well, actually, now that I think about it, yeah, we'll keep it. Alright, so we're gonna go Forest and Utopia Sprawl. Name white here. And say go. Urza's mine. Okay, so, oh, Tron. Okay. Well, at least we know we're not going to get disrupted for a minute here. That's also good. Destiny Spinner, quite a great card. So what we're going to do is we're going to go Plains. Play Sterling Grove. We're actually going to get to go off a little bit here. Which is kind of nice. And we'll go ahead and fetch up ourselves a Sithis to the top of our library, and then next turn we can go Sithis into Utopia Sprawl into Destiny Spinner. Bluetron, interesting. What's our opponent got here? Chalice on 1. Okay, well, it's pretty good. Doesn't stop us entirely, just makes it a little bit harder. So this turn we're gonna go Forest, Sithis, Destiny Spinner, draw a card. On thin ice, okay. So go ahead and pass the turn here. Can't be countered. Counter that spell. So we're gonna we'll try it out here. I think the on thin ices are gonna be pretty dead against our opponent, most likely. And even still, let's go ahead and fetch out here. So we'll go ahead and grab the... we'll grab a Forest. Even if it gets countered, right? We still get to... Can't be countered. I need to draw a card. Even if it's countered, we still cast it, right? So we still get to draw our spell, but our opponents look like they're doing something here. Repeal. X equals 2. That's a problem. I mean, it's whatever. We'll just play it. We'll still draw our card. And Greater Oromancy is really good. So we'll go ahead and replay our Destiny Spinner, draw our card. And we'll play Greater Oromancy, draw a card. Great. And now nothing can be targeted, can be bounced, except the Greater Oromancy. We do want to find a Sterling Grove to make sure that everything is safe. But I guess if our opponent wants to spend multiple repeals... Okay, Urza here. Okay. Makes a 2/2, not bad. So we're gonna just on thin ice this Urza. Finding more and more lands we don't necessarily want. I think we're gonna go Prismatic Vista. Bracket. Go get our snow-covered plains. We'll cast On Thin Ice, targeting the tapped Snowland. Draw a card. Oblivion Ring is great. And On Thin Ice will come in. We'll get rid of Urza. And then we'll play Abundant Growth, targeting our forest. Draw a card. Draw 2 cards, actually. Sanctum Weaver, great. Draw a card. Blood Moon seems pretty good. And I think we're just gonna... We can't play the Blood Moon. Yeah, I think we're just gonna play our Sanctum Weaver, draw a card, gain a life. Solitary is actually quite good. Well, maybe it's good. I don't know. All right, cool. Go to combat. We have 7 enchantments. So we got some big boys. We'll just get in for 2. Kick this off. And I think we'll just say go. Another Urza. Okay. Make some more artifacts. Sure. Seems fine. We'll take 3 on this one. 1, 2, 3. Talisman. Sure. Talisman's fine. Take 4. Yeah, no blocks. And now what we can actually do is we can just animate a lot of our lands here, which is pretty nice. Sanctum Weaver is great. Okay, so this can make us a bunch of mana, and we can do this a few different times here. So I think our first play is play Windswept Heath. Crack Windswept Heath. Grab our Stomping Ground. Untapped. Then we go Blood Moon. Draw a card. Okay. Then we go... so we have 8 in total here. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Oblivion Ring. Draw a card. An Oblivion Ring is going to get rid of Urza. Okay, get rid of Urza. And then we're going to add a bunch of green mana. Activate targeting our forest. This doesn't untap them, right? No, it doesn't untap it. We have a 9/9, 10/10. Sanctum. definitely gonna need to restart Magic Online after this. My goodness. Thirst for knowledge, sure. I mean, we're just gonna animate a bunch of our lands next turn and attack our opponent. Like they can't attack us. Ballista goes to the graveyard. Opponent plays a tower. Karn. Okay, Karn the Great Creator. Okay, he's gonna go find an artifact. And what does he find? Artifact from his board. He probably finds the Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, you can't cast Ensnaring Bridge. But think you're just dead, opponent. Okay, go to our turn. Going to our turn, we'll play Hall of Heliod's Generosity. And then we'll play Sterling Grove. Draw a card. Okay, Magic Online, come on. Cast Sterling Grove. There we go. Gain a life, draw a card. So how much mana do we have now? 10, 11 enchantments. And then if we did this, we can get 12. And then we can make 1, 2, 3. Abundant Growth. Can't get countered. Draw a card. Draw our second card. On Thin Ice. Thin Ice. Target. No, hold on. Cancel. Untap this one. Alright, so we're gonna do On Thin Ice. Target this land. Get rid of that. And now we go make a million mana. Okay, we win. Okay, cool. Opponent scoops it up. So realizing that we can just animate a bunch of dudes and just kill them. Great. Okay, so now so we're playing against Blue Tron. So Veil of Summers definitely do need to come in. I don't think we're worrying about ley lines. Stony Silence is probably pretty good as well. Let's see. Yeah, Stony. So Stony Silence is like. What does wait? Does Urza give those? Urza, Lured, High Artificer. No, okay, so it's Urza's. That's got the ability. Stony Silence probably still pretty good though. I would imagine. Okay. As far as things to cut here, honestly, everything just kind of felt really good. So I'm not entirely sure what I would even want to have cut here. I guess like Blood Moons are even halfway decent in this against this deck. So we'll cut one Blood Moon here. We'll cut a Sanctum Weaver. Cut an Abundant Growth. Cut a Utopia Sprawl. And call it like that. All right, opening hand looks pretty good. I think this is a keep. We can Banishing Light. something our opponent gets to do. Opponent mulliganing to 5. Oof. Not good for our opponent. Opponent plays a tower. Great. Going our turn. On thin ice, not a bad draw. We'll go Utopia Sprawl. And we'll name it white. Pass turn. So if our opponent didn't play like Expedition Map or anything like that, so I'm assuming they play a mine. Okay, so they may have just straight natural Tron, but casts Chalice of the Void. X equals 1. Okay. Chalice equals 1. We can get rid of it if we really want to, but I feel like I just want to save that for something a little bit more important. Prismatic Vista. Okay, so we'll go Prismatic Vista. Crack. Prismatic Vista. Go get... I guess if he has Urza, we can just on thin ice it. Alright, so we're just gonna go grab Snow Covered Plains. And we'll go ahead and we'll cast our Banishing Light. Banishing Light, get rid of the Chalice of the Void. And we'll just say go here. He can't Urza this turn, I guess. Ooh. Playing a Talisman means that he doesn't have lands. Ooh, it's not great for our opponent. It sucks. Alright, so we're clear on the Tron side of things for the moment. Sterling Grove, another great card to have here. We're gonna go Prismatic Vista. We'll go crack and grab ourselves a forest. And we'll go Destiny Spinner. Pays a blue. Condescend? X equals 0. Okay. Yes, I'll pay 0 for Condescend. Sure. Opponent's guy's one to the top, one to the bottom. Interesting. Okay. Destiny Spinner. Should resolve. And then Sterling Grove. And now everything's well protected. Gonna have to deal with the Sterling Grove before anything here. And now we're just kind of sitting pretty. We just would love to find our Enchantress piece. Thirst for Knowledge. Sure. Stony Silence would be pretty nice here, actually. Discards Repeal and Condescend. Okay. Which means that they don't have a good way to deal with the Destiny Spinner. Which is exciting, which is great for us. I mean, I think we're just gonna wait one more turn before we start attacking with our lands. Because we want to keep a Veil of Summer just to be on the safe side. I mean, we probably don't need to be playing this as cautiously just because our opponent is really behind. Blood Moon is actually probably great here against our opponent before they finally fully assemble Tron. probably would make some sense to grab. Yeah, you know what? Let's crack our Sterling Grove. Let's crack our Sterling Grove. Let's go find our Blood Moon. And we'll draw that. Play a Stomping Ground untapped. 1, 2, 3. Blood Moon. And we'll go attacking. Putting that slow clock on. Field of Ruin, that's cute. Nice mountain. Alright, not much going on for our opponent here. Sterling Grove. Enchantress's Presence. Pretty good. 1, 2, 3. Enchantress's Presence. We will go to combat. Looks like we're waiting a little bit longer than one more turn to start attacking with our lands, but we're just drawing some pretty gas cards here. Ooh, and Stony Silence as well. That's pretty great. This should probably lock the game up here. Stony Silence, they can't activate their talisman. Gonna try to do something about it now. Condescend for 0. Sure, go ahead and condescend for 0. You can scry. And depending on what our opponent finds here, we might just be in the clear. Scries 2 cards to the bottom. Alright, Stony. Play our Temple Garden. And... oh, we could actually... probably should set a stop at beginning of combat on our turn so we can animate a land. But that's okay. Gemstone Caverns, not doing a whole ton. And we're just drawing gas for days. Another Enchantress's Presence, I'll take it. Sanctum Weaver's also pretty great as well. I think we're at a point where just to keep casting stuff, keep drawing cards. Stony Silence, great. Not that I think it matters, but we're just gonna keep drawing cards here. And this actually works out. We can Windswept Heath, go find our... oh, we can't Windswept Heath. Yeah, never mind. Okay. Well, let's go to combat. Get up on in there. We need to find a shroud thing. Ooh, an opponent didn't draw anything. It just F6 through their everything. What do they have here? What's going on? What is happening? Karn the Great Creator. Sure. Karn goes and finds Ensnaring Bridge. Oh wait, you can't. Can't activate stone talisman. What do you find, opponent? Opponent needs to find something. Okay. Oh, that's pretty annoying. Sorcerer's Spyglass, sure. What do you name? Naming Destiny Spinner? Yep, name's Destiny Spinner. Reasonable. Love to find literally anything else. Well, just because we can't activate Destiny Spinner doesn't mean we can't just go, okay, find all the lands. Sure. Draw 2. Oblivion Ring, perfect. Play Snow-Covered Forest. White, 1, 2. Oblivion Ring. I think this puts the game away. Yeah, and that puts the game away. So yeah, we get rid of their Sorcerer's Spyglass, and we have how many cards? 12 enchantments. Yeah, we make all 3 of these creatures lands, and we kill our opponent. Cool. Deck sweet. Awesome. Well, we'll see you guys in the next round. All right, welcome to round 3 of our Modern League. We're playing some good old Enchantress, and I like this hand quite a bit. We have an Enchantress spell, we have another Enchantress spell, we have lands to cast our Enchantress spells. I think we're just going to go ahead and keep this one. Okay, drawn a Greater Oromancy, so I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to crack a Prismatic Vista. We'll get this party rolling here. Hollowed Fountain. Interesting what our opponent could be up to. Some kind of control deck, maybe? Jeskai. Interesting. Okay. Well, I think we just have to try to go for Sithis and see what happens. Okay, opponent opts. So I think our Sithis is safe. Oh, they're not. Spell Snare. Okay, interesting. Okay, so looks like just plain Jeskai control. Abundant Growth's pretty good. I think we're gonna try and go for the Enchantress's Presence, see if our opponent's got it. Either they got it, even if they have it, we have some play. Snapcaster Spell Snare? Oh no, Snapcaster Opt, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Yep. Yep, casts the Opt. And scratches the bottom, so that's pretty good. Force of Negation, wow. Pitching Search for Iskanta, okay, interesting. So that's Cryptic Command for sure. Alright, going to our turn. I'll cast Utopia Sprawl on red. Um, let's start with Aura, Greater Oromancy. See if this baits anything out from our opponent here. Okay, so they let the Greater Oromancy go, which is fine with us, right? Giving our stuff Shroud's always good. Probably gonna see if they end step Cryptic here. I think they're thinking about it. Yep. Cryptic bounce. Oh, okay. Bounced the forest. Okay. Well, that's not great. Opponent's still looking like they have potentially Cryptic Command. On Thin Ice. Quite interesting. We'll just go ahead, play our Abundant Growth. See if this see if our opponent wants to do anything here. All right, probably guess not. That's fine. Drawing a Destiny Spinner is pretty good. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand, so I'm inclined to try to fire this off and see if we can't get this. I mean, maybe they would get Spell Snared, or maybe they have double Cryptic Command in their hand, but I guess we need to give it a shot. They have double Cryptic Command. Okay. All right. Teferi, okay. Teferi plus. All right, going to our turn. Prismatic Vista. Let's go ahead. We'll play that. Go ahead and grab a Snow-Covered Plains. And let's fire off this Blood Moon. See how far it gets us. Okay, the Blood Moon sticks. So we'll now go ahead and do an On Thin Ice. Nice, nice mountains there. All right, and we'll just say go at this point. Opponent's got a whole lot of nothing. Blood Moon's, I think, pretty good against this deck because they're 3 colors and a lot of non-basics, so we should be in good shape here. Opponent Teferi would basically have to tuck the Greater Oromancy first. Okay, search for Escanta, and that's fine with us. They're... Ooh, Utopia Sprawl's great. I would like another land somewhere in here, but let's go Utopia Sprawl and make a green. Green, white, go get a Sterling Grove. We can crack this Sterling Grove right now and go get something. We can actually go get something to do with this Teferi. We don't have to do it right this moment, so I think we're just gonna pass the turn here. We'll just do it in our opponent's end step. We'll go grab a Banishing Light or something. Counterspell to the graveyard. Opponent's gonna plus Teferi. Opponent has drawn quite a bit of cards. So now I think we'll crack the Sterling Grove. And we'll go find ourselves an Oblivion. Yeah, I think we need to do an Oblivion Ring. We need to deal with Teferi here. So go into our turn. Oblivion Ring. So we'll go green white and play a Sanctum Weaver. Oblivion Ring and hit the Teferi. And we'll say go. Oh, opponent found a basic. Okay, so now they're in business. They can start doing stuff now. Ooh, 3 fairy. Okay. Has to bounce the Greater Auramancy, which isn't, I'm sure, what they want to be doing. Because we'll just play it again next turn. Yeah, they're not getting this one back, that's for sure. Yeah, opponent's in a rough spot. Cool. Destiny Spinner, great draw for us. Opponent's gonna flip their Search for Escanta, which, or not. They're not gonna flip the Search for Escanta. So that would sound like a pretty dumb thing to do. Finds the basics though. That's fine. All right, so we're gonna firstly go to combat. Let's take out this Teferi. Let's just get that out of here for the moment. And I think for just hanging back here, I think we'll just hold this Blood Moon for when we end up drawing a Sithis or Enchantress's Presence. Enchantress's Presence. Yeah, Blood Moon really doing some work. We'll pick this land. Green, green, and this. And we'll animate one of our lands and get in for 10. Path. That's rude, but sure. Let's go get a forest then. So it's like we're gonna have to slow burn our opponent out with because they have specific spot removal. Sanctum Weaver, not a bad option either. So 2 for Sanction Weaver, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're still a land shy. I think I just want to get the Sanctum Weaver down for now. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll just keep beating face in. And hopefully our opponent hasn't found, you know, multiple Path to Exiles. Well, they can only really have one Path to Exile here, but... Going our turn, what do we got? Abundant Growth. Can I have Abundant Growth, and then turn that? Yeah, okay. So let's Abundant Growth, draw a card. Also pretty good. All right, so we'll go these two, play Destiny Spinner, add a bunch of green mana, turn this one into a land, turn this one into a land, go to combat, and turn it sideways, or does our opponent give us the concede? And turn them sideways and see what we got. Red, Snapcaster Path, assumedly. Yep. Opponent's still gonna take a beating here. Oh, wait. They gotta do it now. Okay, they did it now. That's fine. We'll go grab our land. They're still gonna take 11. And say go. And opponent's got 1 turn to make this happen. Put the Scalding Tarn in the bin. I think we might have this one. Yep. Cool. All right, so as far as sideboard goes, Veil of Summer absolutely comes in. Rest in Pieces come in, I think, as well against this deck. Prismatic Ending is probably pretty okay as well, but Resurgent Belief, I don't know that we need to worry too heavily about that. So I think I'm just gonna get rid of the 4 on Thin Ices. Assumingly they're not a heavy creature based deck. Maybe it's like fine against, like, if they have like Shark Typhoon. But we didn't see, they were filtering through a ton of cards with Search for S content. We didn't see one, so they may not have it. They may be bringing it in out of the board, but I think we'll just start with just this and see what we can do. This hand looks fine. Abundant Growth, Hall of Heliod's Generosity, Enchantress's Presences. Yeah, we'll keep this here. Sanctum Weaver, great addition to the party here. We'll go ahead and grab a Forest, slap an Abundant Growth on it, and draw a card. Okay, another Abundant Growth isn't bad either. Search for Escanta, okay. Ooh. That's pretty good. Sithis is really good. Yeah, that's incredible. Let's go ahead and let's grab a Stomping Ground untapped, make a white, and a green play Sithis. Say go. Reflecting Pool. Very interesting choice of a card. So let's see if maybe we can double spell here. Play Abundant Growth. Cast a spell, draw a card, gain a life. Sterling Grove, pretty good. I think I want to try to start with the Sanctum Weaver. Let's see if we can draw out a Spell Snare. I don't think this is probably good enough to, I guess, to worry about Spell Snaring, but straight counterspell, okay. Opponent does have Bolt, so we do need to get like a Sterling Grove down, or a couple Sterling Groves down here. I mean, I guess our opponent has like a Cryptic Command or something, would be not great. Bolt. Sure. I guess that's fine. Alright, let's play this untapped. Let's try to go for Sterling Grove. Let's see what we can, if we can get it here. Okay, so one hits. Let's try and see if we can get the other one. Oh, okay. I mean, sure. We'll take that. So now everything has Shroud. That's pretty good. And then we can Hall of Heliod's Generosity next turn, play our Enchantress's Presence, get back Sithis or Sanctum Weaver. I like where we're at. I like where we're at. We have more cards in our opponent. We have double Shroud thing going on here, which is kind of nice. Alright, so Hall of Heliod's Generosity. And we'll play Enchantress's Presence. See if this baits a counterspell. Looks like it might. Yeah, Snapcaster counterspell. Sure. Okay. We'll put an upkeep stop on our turn so that we can haul of Heliod's Generosity, get our Sithis back. See if maybe we can get something going there. Okay, upkeep, Sithis. And we'll put the Sithis on top of our deck, draw it for turn. White and greens play Sithis. Counterspell. Oh, search for Iskanta It's gone to the Sunken Ruin. Gonna dig 3 deep. It's pretty good. 4 deep, even better. Finds the counterspell. Unfortunate. Oh, but the Sithis resolves, so okay. I mean, sure. Yep, we'll take 2. Nevin Nero. Oh, explosives. EE. Just pop EE now. Sure. I guess that's fine. So our turn. Upkeep, stop. We'll grab Sterling Grove. Put that into our hand. Play a Prismatic Vista. Go get a Forest. Play Sterling Grove. Okay, that sticks. I feel like I kind of want to go for... Okay, what's going on? Teferi? Did our opponent... Our opponent had found the counterspell. So they do have counterspell in their hand. Okay. So we'll go to our turn. Upkeep, same deal. We're gonna grab the other Sterling Grove. Draw it for turn. Play our Forest. Play the Enchantress's Presence to try to bait out the counterspell in their hand. Yep. And then we'll see if there's another counterspell in their hand. Spell Snare. Got it. Okay. Well, we've run our opponent down into 1 card. We need to draw some gas here, though. Next turn, we can go 1-2 Heliod's Presence, put Enchantress's... put Sithis in our hand. Go 1, pop the Sterling Grove for a Sterling Grove. Or something else. Maybe a Oblivion Ring. 1-2, put this on top. Draw Sithis, cast Sithis. Pop this for something that's 2. And then we have 2 basically mana to do what we need to. Yeah, we can try that. Let's give that a shot. So our turn, white, blue, or white and green. Put Sithis on top of our deck. Draw the Sithis. Cast the Sithis and see if he has either another spell snare, counterspell, cryptic command, any of the above. Goes and has cryptic. So we'll pop Sterling Grove. At this point, I think I just want to deal with the Teferi, so we'll grab Oblivion Ring, I guess. And say go. So one thing that we are doing here is grinding our opponent down a little bit. They're not being able to get away with the full-fledged advantage of being able to like just Escanta plus Teferi every turn, because we are able to recur a bunch of things. So we have Oblivion Ring. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Put this on top, so we're still left with 2 mana. Finds opt. Okay. But as our opponent gets more lands, this is starting to get more and more out of reach. Draw Oblivion Ring. I guess try and cast a... Oops. Cast Oblivion Ring. Most likely doesn't stick. Okay, so goes for Escanta. Finds Cryptic Command. Okay, well, that happened, so we'll just go to the next game. I think that we're pretty much just about done here. We're going to be getting to a point soon where they're going to start exiling stuff, and that's not great for us. Our opponent disconnected from the game, interestingly. Unless it says that every time. I think maybe Solitary's not quite as good. Yeah, Solitary is not quite as good either. Because Solitary doesn't give all of our permanent Shroud, but we have Shroud, so like they're not doing anything to us directly. They're just gonna bring the Prismatic Endings in. And take it from there. Okay, opponent comes back. So we'll play first here. I want to like this hand, I really do. But it just doesn't do anything. We don't have any acceleration or anything, so I think we'll just mulligan. Nah, this is better. This is much better. I think we'll keep this and we'll ship the Sanctum Weaver. Yeah, we'll put the Sanctum Weaver back. And we'll get to redraw here as well, so. Windswept Heath. Crack Windswept Heath. Go ahead and we're gonna grab Temple Garden. Untapped. Play Abundant Growth. Draw a card. Okay, yeah, Utopia Sprawl's very good. That's a great card to hit. I mean, I wish I had that instead of the Abundant Growth, but you know, it's what can you do? Alright, so go to our turn. Another Utopia Sprawl seems fine. We'll go ahead and crack. Get a forest. And let's cast Utopia Sprawl. See if our opponent wants to try to maybe counter, do something cheeky with this. Doesn't look like it. So we'll pick white here. I guess maybe we just go for the Greater Oromancy and see what happens. Do they have Spell Snare? Might have Spell Snare. Oh, okay, just fires off opt. That's totally fine. No problems there. So, okay, go into our turn. We'll draw Rest in Peace. Not a bad one, honestly. Yeah, let's cast the Rest in Peace. See if our opponent wants to fight on this one. No, okay, guess not. Opponent doesn't want to fight Rest in Peace. Alright, let's go Utopia Sprawl, second Utopia Sprawl, see if this gets anything, any action either. I mean, we're just getting to do almost everything, but... Okay, I guess we'll just have this make red, and... I guess we'll say go. Opponent thinks we have Blood Moon. Cast Snapcaster. Okay. Archmage's Charm? No way they're playing Archmage's Charm. That'd be insane. Yeah, they're super hedging against Blood Moon, which is really funny. Enchantress's presence isn't bad. Is this a thing to try to fight over? We'll see. They go to fight. We'll keep this one alive. This one we'll fight on. If they want to go for counterspell or something. They are playing Archmage's Charm. Wow. Okay, well, we're gonna cast Veil of Summer. Wow, Force of Negation. dumping to Fairy Time Raveler. So they're not in a good place. I mean, I guess technically neither are we. We're missing a bunch of stuff right now, but Temple Garden, not a bad one. Play that tapped. Let's play Sterling Grove. Okay, so Sterling Grove resolves, which is pretty good. I guess just the question becomes, do we want to get anything? I guess while we have the mana, I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, they already ditched like a Teferi. Blood Moon isn't good. I guess really Destiny Spinner's the best card we can grab right now. And just hope our opponent doesn't have it. Probably wrong, but we don't got a whole lot else going on right now. Take this upkeep stuff off. All right, so oh, didn't want that to happen. All right, go to second main phase, I guess. Cast Destiny Spinner. Counterspell. Okay. Eventually we will run our opponent out of things or we will die. What is happening? Snapcaster. Okay, so they're basically shortening the clock to 2 turns versus 4. Destiny Spinner. And if they have the counterspell, then we die. They don't have the counterspell, so we don't just die. I guess they could find Bolt. And that would kill us. Helix. Oh. Okay. I guess that's the other thing that kills us. Okay, well, GG's. Unfortunately, this is I feel like a pretty rough matchup if we don't have something like this early on. All right, well, go to the next round. See if we can't close this one out strong. Alright, welcome to round 4 of our Modern League. We are playing some Enchantress, and we're gonna go play first. And this hand looks amazing. We're gonna keep this. Enchantress's Utopia Sprawl into Enchantress's Presence into Sterling Grove. Seems like a pretty great way to be. Second Utopia Sprawl, also not bad. So I think we just get this down now. Oh, okay, and our opponent concedes straight on the spot. Oh, just straight fully concedes the match. Okay. Apparently our opponent just can't beat Enchantress. Okay. Alright, well we'll just go on to the next match, I guess. Alright. Welcome to round 5 of our Modern League, playing some Enchantress. Our last round literally ended after turn 2. Opponent's playing Luris, and we are on the play here. I like what we're working with. We got a Sithis into, just a bunch of other stuff. So I like where we're at. I'm gonna keep this. And we'll go ahead, kick things off. Prismatic Vista, go ahead and grab a Forest. Play this Abundant Growth, draw another Sithis. Okay, great. Ooh, opponent playing some mill, I see. Interesting. Okay. Well, we can deal with that right away, which I'm relatively inclined to do. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. Stunts us a little bit, but you know what? It's fine. Another Hedron Crab. Okay. Ouroboros. Oboro. Okay. Land one time. Perfect. So we'll go land, crack it. We'll grab. So just Blood Moon him. Nah, we got to deal with this first, and then we Blood Moon him. So we're gonna grab. We're gonna grab a Forest. Cast a Sithis. Probably not playing Spell Snare. Alright, great. On Thin Ice. Gain a life, draw a card. Drawing lands is great. And we'll take this other Hedron Crab because why not? And see where we're at. I think whoa. Archive Trap, that was huge. Fatal Push. Okay, no problem. Field of Ruin. Mesmeric Orb. Gross. Okay, well, that's kind of a pain. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Question is, do we just get archive trapped again? Oh, we'll play Blood Moon. Have fun casting spells, opponent. So Blood Moon's very good against their deck. Unfortunately, there's not much we can do about kind of the dire situation we're in. How many Destiny Spinners are left in our library here? 1, 2, 3. So literally one Destiny Spinner left in our library. Just a little bit scary. I'm gonna just say go. I don't think our opponent can necessarily do anything. And then once we find the Destiny Spinner, then we're in great shape. Mesmeric or Oblivion Ring's good against Mesmeric Orb. We can actually continue to play against that. Second Mesmeric Orb. That's lovely. Alright, and hits a bunch of land. Okay. We found the literal 2 outs to to the Mesmeric Orb, so let's just see if our opponent's got anything else to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So we had 2 lands left in our deck. Not amazing. Oh, that's, I guess, one of the lands. That's a great looking forest there that we got. I guess we'll play Sithis. Play Enchantress's Presence. Draw a card. Sterling Grove's pretty good. And we just gotta try to kill our opponent now. Okay, opponent finds an island, so they got something to do here. Second Blood Moon. Opponent's surgical extracting, solitary confinement. Yeah, sure, I guess. You're only gonna find one more, so I guess. I don't think that was the card to surgical extract. I don't think that was it, Chief. What does Crab say? Target player. Okay, so sideboard wise, we are bringing in Ley Lines and we're bringing in Emrakul. They didn't do anything. Okay, so they're just looking to see what's going on. All right, so we'll play play Sterling Grove, Enchantress's Presence, and Sithis. We'll pay 1 to crack Sterling Grove. Go grab a Destiny Spinner and cast the Sanctum Weaver so that we can get our Destiny Spinner into our hand. go to combat. And we don't need to draw anymore. We have 9 cards in our deck though, so see what happens. More nothing. Okay, so this and this make Destiny Spinner. One, two. Stick it. You get big. They don't have Fatal Push. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, okay, cool. So we win that one. They realize that they're just dead. Okay, so no prismatic endings. Ley lines are going to be pretty good for sure. I think Veils are probably decent. Emrakul's good. I think Resurgent Belief's also good in this particular match as well. Surprisingly, the On Thin Ices were very good. Stony didn't do anything, won't do anything against Mesmeric Orb. I think I think we're cutting an Enchantress's Presence. Probably cutting Solitary. Well, Solitary is not bad, I guess, right? Solitary is decent. Cut one on Thin Ice. We'll cut one. Abundant Growth. We could probably actually. Maybe the Utopia Sprawls aren't like stellar. I mean, it does dodge for like Fatal Push, I guess. Yeah, we'll cut off those for the moment. Cut a Blood Moon. We'll cut a Sanctum Weaver. Cut a Sithis. Maybe cut another On Thin Ice. And just expect that we'll get there. All right, well, so like this is good because this is good and this is bad because we have Leyline in our opening hand, which basically blanks what they're doing. Archive Trap. And it's good against Archive Trap and all of that stuff too, like. But why? Why do you have to be here? Why do you have to be here of all things? Okay, I guess we'll just get a Leyline down. Ruin Crab, the one thing that does beat our little Leyline plan. Alright, well, we'll go Prismatic Vista. Go for the Forest, Abundant Growth. We'll draw our cards. Get Sterling Grove, Destiny Spinner down. Yep. Why would they print this card? Mesmeric Orb, sure. Punished for not mulling the Emrakul hand. Banishing Light gone. That's a problem. I guess we just have to try to race. Hope that Hedron crabs don't do anything. Maybe we just draw to hand size. Ooh, guys, nice. Get a surgical extraction out of their graveyard. That's good. Double Mesmeric Orb. Gross. Okay, opponent came back. Ran their clock down only a couple minutes, so not too bad. I thought about what we want to do here. More than likely, we're probably just going to end up. We're going to just probably end up just waiting until we can discard this Emrakul. We'll just pass a few turns. Eventually, we'll discard the Emrakul to hand size, and eventually we'll get there. They can't Thoughtseize us or anything like that, so that I'm not worried about. They can't glimpse us, I don't think. Okay, I think opponent maybe might have crashed again. Glimpse the Unthinkable also says target player, so like a lot of their cards are shut off by this ley line. So I'm gonna go on a limb and just not do anything. We're just gonna pass. I'm just gonna pass the turn and eventually get there. Opponent might have DC'd again or something. I don't know what's going on with our opponent here, but we'll come back again if it takes a little bit longer here. We'll come back when they are actually active and moving. Okay, apparently our opponent came back. So we're just gonna F6. We'll discard the Emrakul. Our opponent doesn't have very much as far as time goes. They also lost a Ruined Crab, which is great. They got about 8 minutes left on their time clock, which is fine with us. So we just need a couple more turns here and then we'll get it. Great, ley line. F6. Okay, opponent casts into the story. Milling a ton of cards. Hedron Crab, okay. Well, you're gonna have to mill yourself on that one, sir. Yep, play your island. Yep. And you gotta mill yourself. Yep. Mill yourself a bunch. Opponent's got actually less cards in their deck than we do. So realistically, we could probably just do nothing at this point and we'd be ahead. Okay. All right, and F6. Go to end step. Discard the Emrakul. And watch our opponent maybe scoop. Shuffle. Do we get the shuffle? And everything shuffles. Hey, all right. We could just F6 the rest of the game if we really wanted to. But no, we will keep going. Visions of Beyond. Let them draw out a bunch. I mean, I guess they could be playing Thassa's Oracle, I guess. If that's, I suppose, a thing that could happen. Whoa. Set Adrift. Return it to the top. Okay. So opponent's gonna go off here. A little bit. I mean, and that's fine. We have the other one. Sprawl, you say? Play land. Play on thin ice. Targeting the Ruined Crab. Play Sterling Grove. And say go. And our opponent scoops it up. All right. Well, that's a 3-2. I'll take that. All right, let's we'll go to the wrap up. We'll see you guys in the wrap up. All right, so what did we think about Enchantress? I thought that this deck was really sweet. Definitely some interesting, unique play patterns in the deck for sure, but it's relatively straightforward. Play enchantments, draw spells, win game, right? Seemed pretty easy. Our only losses were to hardcore Jeskai control. Was playing a bunch of just Spell Snare, Archmage's Charm, just like a ton of counter magic that's generally speaking really difficult for us to deal with. And then the other loss was to Griefblade, Black-White Griefblade, which can be a difficult matchup if they can get their combos off, if they can get their Thought Seizes going and their Griefs going. Leyline should be the answer to that matchup and should make that matchup much easier. Since they aren't playing counter magic, if you can get the Leyline of Sanctity down, you can pretty much take over at that point. So I think that match might have been winnable if we had mulliganed for the Leyline and probably a little bit more aggressively. But ultimately, I think this deck is great. Thanks to TCG Gaming for the awesome list. I highly recommend you guys give this one a shot. Definitely amazing, but yeah, it's super fun. So thanks again so much for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next video.